It is opening day, or rather opening night, with the Cubs and the Cardinals taking to the Diamond at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. Major League Baseball has enjoyed record revenues exceeding $9 billion last year. The business is doing well. So will 2015 be the year it breaks 11 digits? So Robert Manfred is with me. He is the 10th and current commissioner of Major League Baseball. And it is great to have you on the show, Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us. So it's nice to see such success of MLB. You've already made some changes to the game. You're trying to pick up the pace, get the fans in their seats at the stadium. How's it going, and what is on your agenda right now?
Well, we're really encouraged by the early returns on our pace of game effort. It's part of a broader effort. We're working hard on getting younger people attracted to the game. We're working hard on youth participation. And we're also encouraging the demographic where we're strong, parents and grandparents, to make sure they bring their kids to the ballpark.
Yeah, and absolutely people want sort of a mentor. So with Derek Jeter retired, who would you say is the face of baseball today?
You know, we got a great young group of players coming along. It's hard to answer that question, but I'd give you 4 names: Mike Trout, Clayton Kershaw, Andrew McCutchen, and Jose Fernandez.
All right. Well, these are some of the stars, and so you know that you never know who's going to stick.
That's
with the
right.
Fans.
Part of it depends on how their teams do. You know, Derek was obviously personally appealing, but he also had the advantage of being part of great Yankee teams. What
about the A-Rod ban? I mean, Alex Rodriguez now back from his season-long ban, but is there a distraction to baseball as a result of what went on?
I don't really see it as a distraction. As a matter of fact, I think it generates interest in the game. People are generally forgiving. Alex served a very severe penalty, and I think people are interested in seeing how he's going to do this year.
So what do you do now in terms of making sure steroids are not in the game, keeping it out of the game, making sure that you've got drug testing going on? Are there plans in place that you're going to ensure?
Yeah, the key on the issue of performance-enhancing drugs is constant vigilance. We have developed great relationships with organizations like WADA and USADA, the World Anti-Doping Agencies, in order to make sure that we're on top of the developments in that area. And each and every year, even if we don't have a collective bargaining agreement, we sit down with the Players Association and update our program.
Let's talk about expansion and growth. You're expanding in Asia, Latin America. Why are those markets so important?
Well, Asia and Latin America are ripe for us because there are great baseball traditions in those areas. You know, Korea, Japan, Taiwan all have great baseball traditions, and they're good targets for us. But we also are interested in newer markets where baseball is not as popular, and I think in the coming years you'll see us make efforts in places like Europe.
What about Cuba? I mean, obviously we've seen a number of talented players coming out of Cuba. President Obama announced his plan to restore diplomatic relations between the U.S. and Cuba. It's produced a number of talented players who either played or are currently in the league. Do you envision Cuba being a big part of baseball?
I do. I think the flow of talent out of Cuba is going to continue to be strong. I think you're going to see more and more players from Cuba in the major leagues. In addition, we hope that the environment continues to evolve in a way that allows us to do some real business in Cuba.
I want to talk about the technology end of it. I know you're doing a lot in terms of getting fans in the seats, trying to engage in social media, but it was also recently announced that the NFL will live stream a game this fall, first time in history. Mm-hmm. Are there plans for baseball to try that out as well, live streaming?
Well, remember, we had the first live streaming product ever. MLB.TV debuted, I think it was 7 or 8 years ago, and all of our games in the outer, except in the home television territory, are available over the top on MLB.TV.
All right, so you were the first, and obviously this is sort of the new normal in business in general.
Right, it's part of a really rapidly evolving television environment. Obviously for our teams, the current cable model has been great for us. Our media revenue has really exploded, and we think that we can use streaming in a way that supports the current cable model.
And I know you've had incredible success with MLB Advanced Media, mm-hmm. Which is working on this as well. In terms of fans watching it at home, coming to the stadium, how do you is it that critical to get your fans in the stadium in terms of business? Because you can have a great experience at home these days.
Our game is still a gate-driven game. It's really important to our economics that we have good attendance. Over our 2,430 dates, we average about 30,000 people a night, and it's crucial to our business. And we do think we continue to have a really positive, affordable, family in-park experience.
Tell me about the growth in terms of taking it to the next level in terms of business. What are your most important issues that you're going to be dealing with?
I think that the most important issue for us is to make sure that we're prepared to deal with the changing media environment. As you alluded to earlier, there's a lot going on in that space. Media is a crucial part of our business, and we feel that with MLB Advanced Media, we're well positioned to deal with those changes.
I read that you said your wife gave you the best advice when it came to being appointed commissioner. What was her advice?
Her advice was be your own man, and I'm trying hard.
I like it. And you're going to be throwing out the first pitch tonight. You ready for it?
Actually, I'm going to do the first pitch in Washington on Monday.
Oh, on Monday.
On
okay.
Monday, right.
And you've been practicing for that?
Oh, I have been practicing. If you don't practice for a first pitch, you're making a mistake.